So I'm a big fan of something called cognitive behavioral therapy, which is essentially a method of teaching you how to reframe things, how the importance of wording a particular situation is. So, for example, I used to think that when somebody asked, "What do you do for a living?" I used to think that was a really shitty, invasive, cuntish thing for somebody to ask it. It's like, we're meeting at a wedding, I'm trying to fucking chill out, I've been at work all fucking week, I finally get a chance to have a pint and chat to some potentially interesting people, and all you've got is, "What do you do for a living?" Like, fuck off is what I do for a living. That used to be my opinion. But I've heard very recently a better way of reframing that question. And I got it from one of my boyfriends, a guy called Chris Williamson. He hosts the Modern Wisdom podcast. Couldn't recommend him more highly. He's fucking brilliant. And he was talking about, I can't remember his guest, but he mentioned the idea that instead of framing it as though they're prying and want to know how much money you make to see if you're worth fucking talking to, which is this kind of more cynical, horrible way I would have viewed it previously. Instead, he said, think past the actual objectiveness of the question, because typically what people are asking when they ask you that is, "Please tell me something fucking interesting about yourself so that we can have some sort of a fucking back and forth, and give me something to get a fucking hold of you, so that I can actually get a feel and understand who I'm speaking with." Because if you say you're a pilot, well then fucking whoop-de-doo, I can ask you, how many countries have you been in? Do you like fucking flying? What's it like? Blah, 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 blah. How'd you get into it and all the rest of it? And if you say that you're a brain surgeon, I can go, "Oh fuck, that's very interesting." But if you say you work in a shop, it kind of falls flat. And the way I would have taken that falling flat is, you don't earn enough to be fucking worth me talking to. But the way Chris Williamson was recommending people reframe it is, have a ready answer. So my answer might be, I work in a vertical farm. And, because you've left it a bit kind of closed at the end, people might go, "What's that?" You explain what it is, and then it kind of falls flat. But instead, what I could say is, off the top of my dome, well, my background is in sales, but I ended up setting up a vertical farm. But if I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd probably become a full-time YouTuber. And from there, the person who's asked, they can go into 101 different avenues. Sales, what sales were you involved in? I was involved in fucking 20 different sales jobs. I can talk about any one of them, whichever one he's most interested in. What's a vertical farm? Well, you can explain that to him. YouTube channel? What's a YouTuber? And would you really do that if you won the lotto? Like, you're giving people essentially what they're asking for. Because when people ask that question, "What do you do for a living?" typically they don't really give a fuck. It's a conversation opener for the most part. So I just think that's a really good example of how you can reframe something to your advantage. Because we create our own realities. That's another really important aspect of reframing things to our advantage. We live in an objective world. My hands are here, the fucking roof is there, the window is there, all these different things are objective. I'm in a certain place and time in the world right now, the kids are out in the football pitch in front of me playing football, I'm sitting in my car, these are all objective facts. But we're subjective creatures, us humans. So I could be sitting here going, "This is fucking shit, fuck's sake, what fucking time is it? Jesus fucking Christ. Have to fucking endure watching a 5-year-old run around over here and a fucking 8-year-old run around over there. I could be at work, I've got fucking better things to be doing." Or I could reframe it and go, "Do you know what? This is a fucking hour's peace and quiet, a rare fucking treat for me. I could put this to good use and upload a YouTube video. Or at least get my fucking head around my next YouTube video. Have them take the notebook out, take a bit of time to fucking have an out think about what it is that you want to fucking do. And maybe plan out your day tomorrow, or use it to your advantage, basically." And our minds are the same. We can use our minds to our advantage, or we can use them to build fucking prisons and torture our fucking selves in them. But for a large part, we create our own reality. So if I view being stuck down here as being shit, I'm right. I'm objectively right. But if I view down here as a fucking guilty edge opportunity to further my podcasting career or my YouTube career or my fucking work or whatever it is, well then I'm right too. We create and curate our own realities. And I just think there are a couple of really good examples of how reframing an objective truth to your advantage can really aid in your progression through fucking life. Because, and there's another little saying, me that loves my little sayings, whether or not you can or can't, whether or not you think you can or can't do something, you're right. If you think you can't do something, well then you're not going to fucking try because you think you can't do it. But if you think you can do it, or at least could do it, well then you're right too, because given enough time, practice and effort, you will be able to do it. It's just a matter of reframing it. And on that note, I'll chat to you soon.